Jay Rose from Total Dealer Training, and I'm excited to talk to you about leads. I get a lot of calls from dealers asking me about how do we increase sales. Well, the number one thing is there's a lot of things that make up the end result, which is a delivery to a customer or a sale. It all starts with lead generation. You need to make sure that every single day, every week, every month, you're tracking all the lead sources that you have. That means from drive-ins or drive-bys, making sure that you track whether or not the customer came from any type of postings that you have on social media, whether it's Facebook Marketplace, Instagram. It could be whatever it is that you post for free. Then you can also have track the money that you spend in boosting it. Whether you use OfferUp or other types of sources, or customer referrals, business referrals, all the different types where you spend money, even drive-by, you spend money in merchandising, letting people know about yourself even though you may be in business for a while. So the number one thing is tracking the leads that you currently have, and also making sure you track properly, which, as I mentioned, you want to track the advertising source. Don't ask people, how did you hear about us, because it gives different answers. I have more on that in the videotapes, but specifically ask the question, what was the number one reason why you decided to visit us today? What was the number one reason why you decided to call us today? What was the number one reason why you emailed us today? The number one, not how did you, which invokes multiple responses, but the number one reason why they decided to contact you today. And you want to track separately how they contacted you, which is basically, was it by phone initially? Was it by the internet / email or text? Or was it in person? Because how they contacted you is completely different than actually what the advertising source is. Too many people assume if they walked in the dealership or your showroom that they had to be a drive-by. No, they could have seen you online or a posting, found out who you were, then they went on the website, then they actually got your directions to the dealership on the website, and then they walked in. So what are they? Well, actually the original advertising source was Google, because they Googled, hey, buy here, pay here, get me done, I get bad credit, came up with your ad. They figured out who you were. They went on your website just to check out your inventory, got your address, and then they just drove in. They didn't even call you first or didn't. So it's really important to specifically know, number one, advertising source, what drove the customer there. And by the way, please don't count your website. Websites, people don't find websites on their own. They go to a search engine, whatever that search engine is, usually it's Google, but they find your website through the search engine. So give the search engine the credit, not your website. So that's just an extra question that you always want to ask. So you get your advertising source, make sure you track in your CRM how they actually first contacted you, so you can track that. And then you want to make sure that you actually, once you have tracked the lead, you want to handle it properly. And that gets into a lot of training in defining who's supposed to be handling that customer. Number one, your receptionist or whoever picks up the phone first should be making sure they track if it's a brand new customer, not somebody that is transferring to another department, but is calling in for the first time, looking for information about your financing or a specific vehicle or whatever it may be. Making sure that they track who that person is, no problem. Mr. Smith, I can get you to a finance specialist to answer any questions about our inventory or our financing. And just in case we disconnected, what's your cell? Okay, Mr. Smith, and your first name is Jay, great. So at least they get first name first. This is Jay, no problem, I'll transfer you, hold 1 second. I want to thank one of our sponsors, Neo360 CRM. I believe it's the number one CRM for the buy here, pay here, and subprime market. With their lead maximizer, with their predictive scoring model built in, along with automatic credit pulls from 700 Credit, texting, voice, and video, all built into one. And what I like the best is it's all on one screen. You don't need to keep going to multiple screens to get the information you need to build your business and business development. So for more information, check out the number below. And then Make sure you don't blind transfer that lead to somebody just because it's their turn. Make sure you wait, put the customer on hold, wait till somebody picks it up. Then say, okay, great, I got Mr. Smith, I'm gonna connect you. He's looking at the F-150 and I have his cell number just in case. Boop, make the live transfer. Too many times dealers spend tons of money in advertising, get the phones to ring off the hook, and the dang receptionist isn't trained properly how to do a live transfer with a hot prospect, first time call and lead. You don't have to have a BDC, business development center or person. It's just how to handle the phone call. But first you have to have the first person get that call to be handled to the right person. All right, one thing is just picking up the phone. The second is handling the lead, which is answering questions, setting aside concerns, building value in our program, filtering out in-house finance customers versus retail customers, making sure you explain what our program is, and only bringing in people who are looking for your program. You don't need 50 people coming into your dealership. You need about 10 people who you can actually take an application and approve, hopefully at 50 to 75%, because we've already filtered out the people that shouldn't be there in your program. It's completely opposite of a new car store. So make sure that you have the right scripts, the right training, the right videos to show you and demonstrate how to actually handle that lead properly. Then some other things is making sure that when you actually train and record, you listen. You should record all your calls, listen to how they're being handled, so you can actually do better training last time. If you only look in your CRM, you're only going to get the notes that the finance specialist or salesperson puts in there. And of course, they're not going to say, oh, I screwed up this call. That was brutal. I answered all the questions, gave them the price, everything else, and hung up and didn't get a name and a cell number. The first two things you're supposed to get on any phone call. Again, check out our training on how to handle the incoming leads, how to actually handle internet or emails properly to actually get more people to show up that you can approve. But first, you got to generate the leads. Secondly, you got to track them. Third, you got to handle the leads properly. And you also have to be ready to compensate properly for people for getting customers in, but only if they deliver. Do not bonus for shows. It'll just pollute your showroom and you won't get the right people. Only reward people for bringing in the right customers that you deliver. And I feel the same way about advertising. We really don't spend any advertising in my stores because we only want to pay when there's an actual result. So that's why we have professional people that are posting, and when they actually have a customer that we deliver, it could be 1 of 20, 1 of 4, or 1 of 100. They're only getting paid when we get paid. That's called a partner in profitability. So if you want more information on that, just give me a call. But you also have to make sure you have protection policies on when a lead comes in, who should get the lead, so it's equitable and fair to the people that you've assigned are supposed to handle those leads and take the customer. And you also have to have a protection policy for your business referrals, because when you really are rocking and rolling, like a lot of my stores I've worked with since '05, they're up to 70 to 80% all referrals, customer referrals, business referrals, and you have that same customer being sent to you from multiple sources. You have to have it in writing to protect your professionals that are working, even have staffs in other countries posting, answering calls, feeding you leads, to make sure that they don't do all that work and they send you the lead, somebody else sends it, say even 20 minutes later. Whoever is timestamped to your dealership, whether it's in your CRM, DMS, or text, they have to get credit, and the other person, thanks, we'll get you next time. Because otherwise, you're going to lose a valuable lead source. So there's a lot involved with properly generating leads, the right leads, the ones you need for your business, and not pollution. Because the one thing dealers sometimes don't track is, what is the fully burdened cost of having an extra 200 people call your dealership that are never going to purchase, don't want your services, but we didn't do the right job with our content in our ads. We brought in, basically it's like fishing with the wrong bait. If you want a lobster, why would you fish for something for a mackerel? So again, having the right scripts, the right words, it's the right bait to get the right customer. So if you have any other questions, just give us a call. If you like this video, just click below. And again, keep it up. Have a great month this month. It all starts with lead generation. Total Dealer Training trains and coaches dealership personnel through online, in-dealership, and live workshops. We educate, motivate, and develop the skills of your team to improve results while allowing them to be the best possible versions of themselves. If you want more information about our services, visit our TotalDealerTraining.com website, or you can call me directly at 904-955-7666. We can customize a training solution that'll meet your dealership needs. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment so you can be notified when future videos are released.